Moving into her freshman dorm at Weston University felt like a dream come true for Sarah. The dorm was old, built in the early 1900s, but it had that classic college charm. Her roommate, Amy, was friendly but quiet. On the first night, they unpacked together, laughing and making small talk. But before bed, Amy casually mentioned something that sent a chill down Sarah's spine. "They say this room is haunted, but it's probably just a stupid rumor." Sarah laughed it off, but something about the way Amy said it felt off. The first few nights were quiet, but by the end of the first week, small things started happening. The closet door would creak open on its own. The ceiling fan would spin by itself, even when it was turned off. And every night at exactly 3:06 a.m., Sarah would wake up to the sound of soft tapping coming from inside the walls. At first, she thought it was just the old pipes or maybe a mouse, but the tapping always happened at the same time, and it always came from behind the wall where her bed was pushed up against. One night, Sarah couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed her phone and started recording. As soon as the tapping started, she whispered, "If someone's there, please stop." The tapping immediately stopped, but then a soft voice whispered back through the wall, "I'm still here." Sarah froze, heart pounding in her chest. She woke Amy up, but Amy refused to talk about it. By the second month, the strange noises turned into full-blown nightmares. Sarah would wake up with scratches on her arms, long, thin marks that she couldn't explain. One night, she woke up to find every single one of her drawers pulled open, even though she swore they were closed when she went to bed. The next day, Sarah finally asked one of the older dorm residents if they'd heard any stories about room 306. The girl went pale. That was Emily Grant's room. She killed herself 2 years ago. They found her body in the closet at 3:06 a.m. Sarah's blood ran cold. After that, she refused to sleep with the closet door closed. But no matter what she did, the tapping never stopped. Jason had always been a night owl. He loved staying late at the campus library, especially when finals week rolled around. The library would clear out around midnight, leaving him alone with nothing but his textbooks and the quiet hum of fluorescent lights. But one night, he realized he wasn't as alone as he thought. It started with footsteps, soft, steady footsteps echoing from the upper floor, even though the library had been empty for hours. Jason tried to ignore it, telling himself it was just the security guard making rounds. But when he packed up his things and left the library, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was following him. He glanced over his shoulder, but the path behind him was empty. Then his phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Nice jacket." Jason's heart dropped. He looked around, but there was no one nearby. He reported the messages to campus security the next day, but they brushed it off as a prank. For the next week, the texts kept coming. "Library again? You really like staying late, huh? I like watching you. See you tonight?" Jason stopped going to the library at night. He thought maybe it would all stop if he just stayed in his dorm, but it didn't. One night, he woke up to his phone buzzing again. This time, there was a photo attached. It was a picture of him, sleeping in his own bed. Jason panicked, locking every door and window. He didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, he went straight to the dorm manager. They checked the security cameras from the night before, but no one ever entered Jason's room. To this day, Jason still doesn't know how someone got that picture. Megan had always been excited to move into her college dorm until she met her roommate, Jessica. Jessica was strange. She barely spoke, never went to parties, and kept her side of the room spotless. The only thing Megan found odd was the small black notebook Jessica always carried with her. Whenever Megan asked about it, Jessica would quickly change the subject. But the weirdest part was what happened at night. Every night at exactly 2:33 a.m., Jessica would wake up, sit on the edge of her bed, and just stare at Megan while she slept. Megan would pretend to be asleep, heart racing as she felt Jessica's cold eyes watching her in the dark. One night, Megan couldn't take it anymore. "Jessica, why do you keep staring at me?" Jessica just smiled. "I'm watching over you." Megan thought about switching rooms, but she felt bad for Jessica. Maybe she was just lonely. Then one night, Megan woke up to find Jessica standing by the window, whispering to someone who wasn't there. "I'll do it tonight. I'll finally do it." Megan's blood ran cold. She waited until Jessica went back to sleep. Then she quietly opened Jessica's black notebook. Inside were dozens of Polaroid photos. Photos of Megan, sleeping, brushing her hair, studying at her desk. There were hundreds of pages. The last page simply read, "I can't wait to watch her die." Megan packed her bags the next morning and requested a room change. Jessica never came back to campus. Outro College is supposed to be a time of freedom, self-discovery, and new beginnings. But for some students, those late nights and shared dorm rooms turn into something much darker. If you're still watching, congratulations. You've survived these terrifying college horror stories. But remember, not every roommate is who they say they are. And that concludes 3 terrifying true college horror stories. Proof that campus life isn't always about late-night study sessions and dorm parties. From eerie hauntings and mysterious disappearances to real-life terror lurking in the shadows, these stories remind us that some lessons are learned the hard way. Have you ever had a creepy or unexplainable experience in college? A haunted dorm? A strange roommate? A moment that still sends chills down your spine? Share your story in the comments below. If you love real horror stories, be sure to like this video, share it with your fellow horror fans, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss another chilling tale. Because in the dead of night, when the campus is quiet and the halls are empty, you might not be as alone as you think. Stay safe and good luck making it to graduation.